What's up, guys? We're going to be reacting to Goatis' video on me. This guy's a clown, and yeah, let's give it a watch.
Hey guys, what's up? Some of you have asked me to look into this guy called Androgenic. I'm gonna be reviewing the video called The Importance of Being Unnatural and Well-Rounded.
Hey guys, Androgenic here, and welcome to my YouTube channel.
This is gonna be very hard to watch. He is incredibly When you reach
I call this a brutal mog.
this level of
Deformity, name the ratio that's off. I mean, we see here your bigonial to bizygomatic ratio is literally deformed here. The negative canthal tilt, short PFL, short eyebrow length, megamind forehead. Like, this guy is the definition of ugly.
what can you even do anymore? You may be for life, depending on what he did.
This is the introductory video, and women...
Oh, and he's also faking his voice. It's like that one guy that I reviewed around a year ago.
Dude, I voice mog you to death. It's not my problem. Like, you sound hideous.
Ugh. Insane insecurities.
This guy sounds literally homosexual. Like, literally.
This is sad.
my main ideology, which is of course that being natural is bad.
And you can just tell how he's forcing it. And he says that being natural is bad, even though he's trying to imitate something natural. That's actually the biggest irony here.
And
oh, and you see the supplements
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to imitate anything natural. That makes no sense.
or whatever pills, drugs in the background. Oh my god, man. Oh my god.
if you want to live an optimal life, you have to go the natural route.
If you want to live an optimal life, you have to go the unnatural route. Yeah, that sums it up pretty much. Yeah, exactly the opposite of what you should be doing. And
Naturalistic fallacy, no proof.
people pay the price for that, as everybody does who goes against nature. But really the funniest part is, the most ironic part, that he wanted to be natural. He wanted to be well developed
No, I didn't.
naturally, and he couldn't. So he did surgery, so
Okay, I didn't get surgery, and this is the worst argument I've ever heard. He's basically saying that if you don't have elite genetics, you should just lay down and rot and do nothing with your miserable life, which is what he preaches, to be fair. He preaches that, exercise is bad and you should just, I suppose, do nothing with your life. Any kind of acute stress is bad, even though it builds mental fortitude and makes your life better in the long term.
for drugs, who knows? It's very hard to say. A lot of drug users, meth users also experience similar side effects when the bones grow completely out of proportion all over the place. Yeah, this is
Did he just say meth users get bone growth?
what you're seeing here. Just very severe. That's why he looks so. He may actually be the man I've ever seen in my life. I really don't say that
Have you looked in the mirror?
for any other reason except to warn people, because this can actually happen to you. Ah, fuck, man. If you live unnaturally, this is gonna be so hard.
So first off, yeah, obviously we have increasing bone development, increasing muscularity.
Yeah, development, if you want to call really severe.
It is development. I mean, it's clearly something you're lacking. This guy has extremely underdeveloped bones, and I don't even say that as some like exaggeration or to go overboard and say that anyone without like extreme bone mass has no bones. This guy genuinely has like no bones in his face.
Development. Oh my god, no way. Maybe he does believe that it promotes bone development because of the drug. Because drugs don't only make you they also mess with your brain, of course. Again, as it is with all drugs.
So most things that increase growth, such as, anything that increases growth factors, etc., they are actual nootropics. They literally increase neurogenesis in the brain, and they are neuroprotective and make your brain work better, not worse. So again, this guy has completely no clue what he's talking about.
All drug users become essentially mentally ill.
Really? Proof?
They definitely have mental issues. That's what people always call it. Maybe he really believes that. Who knows what he sees when he looks in the mirror? He maybe even sees something else than people on the outside. Doesn't anybody in real life tell him the way he looks like?
They do, and it reinforces my belief. This is why my platform's big. I make a fair amount of money off of my transformation. Yeah. Essentially, you could say I'm somewhat rich and famous off of my transformation. So, I suppose there's that.
These are obviously known to require unnatural means in order to be optimized. That's pretty obvious. I don't have to get into that. And
Wait, what? But the best looking guys on Earth, the best developed ones, only achieve that through nature. Because there is no other way. Because what we see as a good development, health, and beauty is the definition of nature. That's why
No, you're just defining it that way.
you look the way you look. That's why it happened. Because every model, handsome guy, beautiful girl that people adore, they only got there because of nature. Because they developed very well because of what they ate as babies, children, and later on during puberty, and because of their bloodline, because of what they ate. But it's all food. That's the point. Beauty is only food, nothing else. You cannot become beautiful except if you eat good food.
Proof?
Absolutely impossible. Never gonna happen. There's not one human being on this earth who's beautiful but ate bad food.
Well, that makes it pretty easy to debunk, doesn't it? Did you interview every single good-looking person on Earth?
Especially during development, of course. Later on, it wouldn't matter that much, as long as it's all right. They're gonna look, of course, not perfect, but if the bloodline was well fed and you ate good food as a child, you're gonna look very good because they are done developing already. Every good-looking human, every actor model, they all grew up on very good, healthy, nourishing food. Organs, raw milk, raw eggs, tons of examples. All the celebrities that people worship today, nobody grew up unnaturally, not even one of them.
health.
And I'm sure he knows that for sure.
And I suppose skin quality. People have prescribed finasteride, people have prescribed Accutane. I suppose there are those who believe
Right, you can only achieve good skin through food again. And yeah, what else does he mean?
that they'll
No, not at all. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think this guy even understands the mechanisms behind good skin. I don't think he knows how collagen production works, how elastin works, how sebum production works. I don't think he really knows any of it.
very acting, but it's pretty difficult to set it finasteride, which decreases all symptoms. So we already understand so far what's going on.
Finasteride is very dangerous. If you want to have sons with underdeveloped bodies, especially one part of the body, yeah, then risk it, but you're gonna ruin their life. If you take finasteride, just don't have children then, because if you have a son, their life will be ruined because of you taking drugs.
Then you delve into really where the main contention is, and that's probably longevity. People argue that the natural way of doing things is best to do long term. But then obviously we have the ITP rat studies which show that drugs like vancomycin usually increase.
What? That's a toxin. It's literally poison. Even Brian Johnson stopped taking that
Alcohol's a poison which you love to drink.
because he realized it.
Using Brian Johnson as an appeal to authority here is stupid, considering you completely go against all his beliefs. So you don't believe in him, so why would you use him as an authority here? Just because you think I would? He based his opinion on rapamycin on a study that he didn't even conduct, and the study was not in enhanced people. It was not in people with, enhanced growth pathways, and it was in a protocol where it's used frequently. That's not how I would intend to use rapamycin.
The youth is so lost today. It's so bad, man. This is so bad.
And even sensitive pressure which actually metabolic dial seem to be uniquely less increased, especially in male rats. So that's interesting. And yeah, we get into every type of
And the Batman fake voice just makes it impossible to listen to him. It's already a joke, the whole video.
Dude, you're impossible to listen to. You sound like a homosexual.
But then he says the stupidest, most ignorant things also. That's messed up.
more mitochondrial pro-function drug out there. And as far as we go into the anti-diabetic agents, like agonists or SGLT2 inhibitors, but ultimately the main thing that's clear is that being natural is not ideal in regard. Now, the point I want to touch on in this first introductory video is that people in the ultra bodybuilding sphere
It's just the funniest thing is that, and no matter what he did here, I have no idea whether it's just from the drugs or he did some surgeries. Who cares? He really wanted to imitate somebody natural, and instead he ruined his life most likely.
Ruined it. Okay, I mean, I get, like, I can't even multiply the amount of women I get, actually, because it was 0 before. But let's just say 1,000 times for the sake of it. I get 1,000 times the women, like 1,000 times the money. Probably 1,000 times the status as well. So yeah, I don't think I'm doing too badly, buddy.
So for me personally, obviously I haven't focused on increasing my building, increasing muscularity and overall looks as a whole, but I've reached a point where
How does he believe that he increased his looks?
Is this guy genuinely stupid? Like, my whole platform and all the money I make is based on the fact that I improved. Every transformation video that I post, most of them go viral, and all the comments are clearly like, is this guy trolling? I don't understand. Is he genuinely trolling?
Oh man, what happened to him? He's basically a I don't even know if you can get any in this. And the delusion on top of that.
putting so much time, energy, and resources into getting more muscular right now would be incredibly low return on investment. In fact, it would be probably counterproductive overall, not even including the time aspect to it, but just due to the fact that it would get bigger, I have to do things that will compromise my longevity and likely the quality of my youth indicators.
If you're on so many drugs, you're gonna be aging like crazy anyway. I don't know how old the guy is, but
He has no idea about aging pathways, so I don't know why he's pretending to.
if you do this for 2-3 years, you're gonna already look 10 years older. And you've
I've been doing this for 6 years, well, 5.5. And yeah, it's safe to say I still get guessed pretty young. People are usually actually visibly shocked if I tell them I'm 24.5. They think I'm usually around 20. Sometimes I get lowballed at like 18, which I suppose I'll take.
is the most attractive part of you. That's what people look for.
Youth is the most attractive part of you. Yeah, is that why infants are very attractive? Yeah, I don't think so, buddy. It's pretty clear that, I mean, most good-looking, successful guys, they probably peak in like, how much women they actually get to choose from. And even the quality, probably, 30s or 40s, realistically. And that's not really a cope. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure how you could say youth is the most important trait. That is really stupid.
For when they look for a mate. Once the youth is gone, he couldn't do anything anymore anyway, but I'm talking about other people who may want to go down the unnatural route. The youth will be gone very quickly, and that's gonna be your biggest regret most likely in the end.
And once again, this guy doesn't actually know how, like, any drug would cause aging. He hasn't even looked into anything. He doesn't know the mechanism behind anything at all because he doesn't even believe in science.
And overall, the benefit age well into my entire looks age. So obviously, I've sort of built more of this sphere of longevity, focusing on hair, skin, oral health, and brain, and overall energy and mitochondria. Because yeah, these
Oh, and he also believes in mitochondria. Oh my god. Yeah, just tons of religious beliefs, of course, which he accumulated.
Am I even meant to respond to this? This is just a joke at this point.
Has no idea what he's
This
talking
guy has to be baiting.
about. Really lost guy. Really one of the saddest videos I've ever seen. Oh man, it's so bad.
essentially what every biohacker sort of begins to delve into, because at the end of the day, you get to be muscular, and I'm going to think down that path in a very safe and non-expedited way, right? Like, I'm putting muscle around every survey and maintaining it throughout my life until I get old enough to have that limit, etc. But for the most part, this is the natural route that you take. You will maximize fulfillment.
He just said the natural route. I guess that he misspoke.
Dude, this guy is so stupid. Did he seriously think that when I said natural, I meant a synonym for like organic. I clearly made a synonym for inherent. How could he even confuse this? This guy is so low IQ, it's insane.
On building physique, and because I believe being fit, strong, and like muscle man is definitely an important thing on your to-do list as a male. But
Now, you should never even go to a gym. You shouldn't do any of that. You'll simply be replacing your youth with muscles, which will go away anyway for the most part. Depending on what you eat, you can also keep most of it if you eat wrong meat. But I'm talking about
This guy is such a moron, dude. So first off, uh, trading your youth for muscles, that would be worth it even if it was true. But you're not trading youth for muscles because going to the gym actually increases health span and how long you're youthful for, because the acute stress response from exercise is a hormetic stress, meaning it causes a net positive in bodily adaptations. It literally increases collagen synthesis, dermal thickness, increases mitochondrial. Oh, he doesn't believe in mitochondria. It increases mitochondrial biogenesis and mitophagy, and it has antioxidant benefits. It upregulates like antioxidant systems within the body. Yeah, overall, working out increases your health in pretty much every way. Obviously, it increases your cardiovascular endurance as well, which uh that's kind of funny as to when he says he'll be like Eddie Hall and stuff in a fight. Like he doesn't even do cardiovascular exercise. He wouldn't even be able to outrun the strongman that he says he could beat in a fight.
regular people. For most of you random people watching, it's gonna go away, and you're gonna be left with old skin. At least, of course, on the outside. Of course, your whole body age.
Once again, moron. Yeah, exercise slows down aging in every single way. Like you can research the shit out of this, but obviously he doesn't believe in science. So
Just
yeah, people bring women obviously there are people with all kinds of dysmorphias in this sphere, and some people may
you really, really are the definition of body dysmorphia. The final boss, as people always say, the final boss of body dysmorphia. Yeah, completely gone mentally. Doesn't even see reality when he looks in the mirror.
this guy has no authority to be speaking on looks because not only is he obviously not good looking, but he doesn't understand any of the theory behind looks. He doesn't understand the facial ratios and proportions. He can't point out anything that's actually wrong with my face. And if he were to point out like a small flaw, it's like, sure, you could point that out and it might be valid, but the magnitude of the flaw would be far smaller than anything that's wrong with your cranium. So
Yeah.
I'm small and well, and then others will go and tell me that I'm far too big to the point that I'm canny and no woman will ever be attracted to me as a result. So yeah,
No woman. Yes, impossible. I can't think of anybody. I can't think of anybody. I just can't think of it. Who could possibly? I can't think of it.
you get a
well, I understand you might not be able to think of it. You're not the smartest guy, but this is the weird thing about this guy. The very weird thing. I understand he's obviously very low IQ and perhaps has actually a mental disability, but I'm not sure why he thinks he's more convincing when he removes all the nuance from any opinion he has. I don't know if it's just for rage bait to get views, but it makes him very unconvincing because if you remove all the nuance from your opinion and make it way too easy to debunk, like for example saying that there's no single woman on earth that would ever find me attractive, makes it very easy to debunk, right? Because all I have to do is throw up like one single image, exhibit A, exhibit B, exhibit C, and then suddenly his point's debunked. Like, what good was that, dude? Come on. Like, you could have at least said like maybe 1% of highly brainwashed, mentally ill women will find him attractive, so that no matter how many examples I give, he would just say, "Oh, they're part of the 1%." Yeah, I don't know. Why'd you make it so easy for me to debunk, right?
plethora, but in real life it's quite clear that my physique is very standout, and really that's
Yeah, that's for sure true. Yeah, it stands out, but not in the way you want it to. Trust me.
all I need. As I said, the all-rounder is what I can tell you, and I think it's much better
Your face stands out more than the rest of your body, by the way.
than the 90th
I wish.
than is the 99.99 in 1 2. Unless, of course, this is sort of paradox, because if you were an outlier in one field, you might be able to build a following and as a result, fantastic money from it. But paradox, because then you wouldn't really be up here in 1 2 fields. So I digress. But yeah, I think the point here is, yes, being natural is an ideal if you want to everything. And on top of that, you do not want to be anyone you only want.
He is actually the very definition of what I talk about in my videos. A real victim of so-called Satanism, completely going against nature and doing the opposite of what you naturally should, and then you expect good results. Yeah, very,
And I received good results. And once again, this is just another naturalistic fallacy.
very severe brainwashing, very bad disinformation out there. He's really just a victim, yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And you don't want to lose sight of the big picture, which I think is very easy to do. You get into these spheres. They will people, they'll apply for a specific limit face, and they will not even address the other parts of your like physique and whatnot, and that is your traditional side. But even the people who do focus on
If you're well developed and your physique develops naturally, then you're going to be as good developed as possible. There's no way around it. You cannot go some unnatural route and still be well developed, obviously, because if you try to do that, then the result will be what you experienced.
the physique height face aspect of it, more holistic in nature, it's still not a part of life. And I'm really driven by looks, and that's also a bit of a logical take, I would say. I know looks are very important, but the question is, once you attain looks to the extent where attaining a high level will basically have you at significant returns, what do you then? So that's just grounded in life personally.
I checked out the comments on the video, and obviously, a lot of people say the same as I do. Beyond your muscle mass and your height, your head because of your surgery.
This is a guy who can't even speak proper English. He said I had surgery, which is obviously wrong. This sentence here is completely impossible to even read because he can't even formulate a sentence properly. And this is like obviously a minority within my comment section. So I'm not sure why you attempted to cherry pick, thinking that this somehow made any sense.
Is completely uncanny. He puts it mildly, as I said. You would have to do, okay, that's also my side. Natural and looking natural is not a good choice. Exactly. Because the further away from nature you move, the worse you're going to look. It's always like this. That's why all of the top models, actors, as I said, on this earth, the people worship, they all went the natural route. It's all because of food only, nothing else.
No proof.
And he believed there's a way around it. And now he's paying the price. This is his TikTok.
Paying the price. Wouldn't say that, buddy, but alright.
I'm not sure if this is actually him because he says that's a mannequin. I don't know what he means by that. Maybe he
Just so TikTok wouldn't take it down.
is embarrassed of the way he used to look like, or maybe that's really just photos of somebody else. Yes, as you can see, very deep insecurities because of malnourishment. If that's actually him, whatever the case, it's obvious anyway where this stems from. It's simply malnourishment, bad food. That's it. And he thought that he can get around it by using drugs and doing surgeries and whatever. Because then you really have this drive to become as big as possible, because the smaller you feel, the bigger you want to be.
All these videos are getting like 270,000 likes. Does he not realize that the transformation blew up because it's impressive? Like, is this guy retarded? He could have picked better videos to cherry pick.
He felt very skinny because of malnourishment, that's obvious, and then he went to the gym, couldn't achieve what he wanted to, which is why he started using all kinds of drugs and did surgeries or whatever. As I said, it doesn't even matter what caused the it just completely backfired. Yeah, this is the result of very toxic drugs. Oh my god, man. The comments also, anything's possible, anything's possible. Bro, that's tremendous. Bro became Joseph, I know, that is a nice trend formation. What do you do for your shoulders? Yeah. A lot of people, I guess, on TikTok worship the unnatural anime physiques because of very severe brainwashing.
You can call it brainwashing, it wouldn't matter. What if every single woman on earth was brainwashed to find me attractive? Would that, by definition, defeat the fact that I'd be attractive in that instance? No. So it makes no sense. Unless you assume that only men would be brainwashed and not women, when we live in a society where, obviously, attractiveness is somewhat cultural. And if you disagree with that, well, I mean, the thing is that in nature, being big was actually more important than it is now culturally. So that would sort of go even in my favor anyway, because obviously we have studies showing the taller you are, the more attractive, the better your shoulder to waist ratio, the more attractive, bigger bodily girth is more attractive as well, like, chest circumference, etc. And physical dominance within a cohort is also more attractive. And so obviously I have all these traits pretty maxed out, especially in comparison to you. So yeah, I think that's pretty telling, isn't it? Facial masculinity as well. Yeah, I think I have everything above you, little buddy.
Which no woman on this earth is attracted to, but I guess they don't learn that until they actually become like that, and then they realize that nobody's into them. The first photo is not real. It is real. So it is real. He said it's mannequin. Who knows what he means? Espanol, Paruski, Ladna, Davai. Bro, look like he's from an anime. Exactly. And he hearted it. Actually, let's just end the video here, because that I told you, that defines his life. Yeah, that's what I meant. You grow up watching animes. Back in the day, you used to be maybe Hulk or Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you want to become like that, especially because of how small you feel, because of malnourishment. Wow. Oh man, oh man.
I also find it interesting that he thinks that this physique here, this pic, is a result of drugs, which the point here is he thinks that something like that wouldn't be able to be attained naturally. Like, dude, I was 90 kilos there at 6'5". Does he not realize that the average athlete in high school that plays rugby is like 100 kilos, fairly lean? Does he not realize that men are actually pretty big? Like, I don't think he's ever been surrounded by like actually dominant men, athletes, like men with any value in his entire life. I don't know who he's been surrounded by, but you might actually think that the way he himself looks is somehow normal or decent, when in reality he's a frail, small beta male. Like the way I look here, I'm telling you, when I looked like that, I didn't really even stand out that much in the gym. Like, does he not realize the average guy is like pretty big? Oh, but it's the gym. Well, you go to any, like, does he not see how people look in the NBA? Like, does, does he not realize how people look in the NFL? Like, does he not realize that men are big, dominant creatures? He actually thinks that this looks unnatural. That's crazy to me, honestly. People have such a warped perception in the opposite direction.
The next few years are going to be crazy with these people, but thankfully after a few years you will right away see what it's actually doing to them. That's at least something. This was one of the saddest videos that I've ever reviewed, one of the saddest lives that I've ever seen, and we only get a glimpse of it, and that's already as depressing as anything can get. I never say that it's have I ever said that about anybody? Maybe, but I don't remember. But for this guy, it's truly I don't even think that he could look anymore, even if he stopped the drugs.
I mean, he admits that it's over for himself, essentially. Like, the thing I preach to men is, basically try your hardest to avoid short-term hedonism and pleasure, and take the long-term gratification route and actually improve your life long-term in every way possible. This guy preaches the opposite. He says, if you're too lazy to go to the gym, that's actually a good thing. Don't worry, don't go, don't stress your body out, don't stress your mind out in any conceivable way. Just sit around and do nothing with your entire life. That'll definitely quench all your desires as a male who wants to naturally conquer the world. That's definitely makes sense. He thinks it's natural to not want to have any kind of stress in your life. And that's not how things work. Men have always wanted to conquer. That's what we've wanted to do. So, yeah, you know, yeah, definitely don't listen to that bullshit. Yeah, if you want to actually optimize your life long term and not just sit around and, I don't know, be happy that you're quote unquote minimizing stress, which is probably never going to work in the long term because you're probably going to be stressed about wasting your life and having no money, no status, no looks, then yeah, you should probably consider joining my course if you want to transform like I did and not end up like Sverige, who has to beg his fans for money, like makes none. He has to like when he travels, he has to like live with his followers in their house. A lot of bad stuff. In terms of women, I mean, he had to attempt to acid attack his ex-wife, who was ugly, and some other girlfriend who was also ugly. He was like, I don't know, a domestic abuser or something in that. Yeah, don't be like Otis. But yeah, if you want to transform like how I did, then yeah, join us in the. But yeah, if you want to transform like I did, then obviously I have a course in my bio. It goes through step by step how to optimize your training, nutrition, pharmacology, risk mitigation, bone growth, etc. It's how I pretty much completely transformed my life. I started off in a similar position to Gotis. Obviously, he has a bit of a following, but the thing is, he doesn't really have any army behind him. He doesn't really have. He doesn't really have because at the end of the day, all of his followers, they're not going to really be jumping into my comment section to attack me. They're going to be crawling into it because these guys can't even get off the couch. So I'm not too intimidated by any Gotis followers. But if they want to jump ship, and follow someone like me who obviously does a lot of research, understands the mechanisms behind all the things that I talk about very deeply, understands the science, and doesn't completely go against it and fall into beliefs like mitochondria being religious, then yeah, uh, in my description, I have a link to my course. I have a link to my private coaching application. So if you want to come on board with me and actually transform and be able to actually improve your life, then I'll be happy to have you.